Good morning, everyone, and welcome. My name is Eric Brown. I'm the CTO of the Energy Systems Catapult and Director of the ERIS program. Thank you for joining this morning as we explore smart local energy systems and the relationship with social housing. We've brought together an expert group that will bring a variety of perspectives, and we hope that you'll find it both an interesting and stimulating session. Before we get underway with the session itself, I'd like to just give you some quick housekeeping. So first of all, your microphones will be muted and your cameras will be disabled. But we will be recording the session, and we intend to make the material available through a variety of media afterwards. So for those who couldn't join today, they'll have the opportunity to see the materials and have the benefit of the discussion. But we did want to make you aware that it's being recorded. I would also ask that you engage with the discussion using the chat function, which you'll find on the screen, and basically be more than welcome to provide us comments and questions, which and the questions that we'll certainly be addressing later on the agenda. But we welcome your contribution throughout the course of the session today. So what I thought I would do for those who may not be familiar with the Catapult was just spend a very few moments giving you a bit of introduction. The Energy Systems Catapult is an innovation intervention by government, and the objective is to support innovators commercialize their good ideas broadly, with the overarching goal of creating wealth for the UK, sustained wealth for the UK. At the Energy Systems Catapult, we have a second goal to that of the economic goal. We have a clean growth goal, which so we seek to support the country as it pursues the objective of net zero. We are about 200 people based in Birmingham and in Derby, and our role in the sector is to try to bridge the gap between stakeholders to bring parties together to achieve good outcomes. And in doing that, we work with academia, with industry, and with government across a broad spectrum of activities, which are indicated here, from systems engineering through digital, through modeling and simulation, as well as a number of areas of activity. What underpins all our work, though, is that we take a whole systems view, and you'll see evidence of that in some of the thinking that we're bringing to you today on the subject of smart local energy systems and how that relates to social housing. On the next slide, we show one of the key programs that we're involved with, which is the Prospering from the Energy Revolution Challenge. This sits within the Industrial Strategy Challenge Fund, and broadly the purpose of the so-called PIFA program is to seek to understand and build the potential of the value of smart local energy systems as we seek to achieve various climate, economic and social benefits for communities and local areas. And to that end, the PIFA program has invested or has deployed more than £100 million of funding to various projects and demonstrators and innovation support to enable its work to progress. The ERIS program, which is the program that is bringing you this session today, is part of PIFA, and ERIS stands for the Energy Revolution Integration Service, and our focus is on supporting PIFA achieve its goals, and we do that in a number of ways in trying to lower barriers to progress and thinking about smart local energy systems, and to bring resources to enable the progress to happen. And the session today sits within the ERIS program and focuses, as I've mentioned, on the relationship between these local energy systems and social housing. Now, this all sits in the context of what's happening in the UK around both the challenges and opportunities of achieving net zero. That is, net zero greenhouse gas emissions by 2050 in England and in 2045 in Scotland. Broadly, we see here evidence of the momentum that's building across the sector, and which brings both a sense of importance and urgency to what we must do as we seek to support the necessity of getting to a net zero future. That future is not an abstract future. It will have a real impact on households, as we illustrate in the next slide. And some of that will be felt in the way we experience comfort and convenience, and the type of transports that we use, these kinds of things, but importantly also in the way that we're actually going to live in our homes and in our communities. And here we illustrate some of the implications and some of the changes and some of the technologies that are going to be brought to bear to support that kind of thinking and change. One way of making that real is to look at this challenge, which I find a really good way to illustrate the scale and complexity of what it is we're actually trying to do here. And broadly, what this does is it looks at the number of homes in the UK that we need to decarbonize by 2050. We acknowledge the fact that we only have 30 years to do it, and if you do the maths, and they're not very sophisticated maths, then you discover that in the course of the next 30 years we need to decarbonize 5 homes every minute. And if you translate that into the social housing context, which represents roughly 17%, with rough figures, says we need to be transitioning 1 home, one social house per minute in order to support achievement of the net zero goals. And I think that sort of number makes it all very real. So what are we doing today, basically? What this brings us to is part of the ERIS program, which is looking to draw particular insights into how smart local energy systems can contribute to achieving that kind of expression of a goal or an objective. And so what we'll be looking at in the course of the next hour or so is what's needed to make smart local energy systems applicable for social housing environments, and what we're going to do as part of that is to bring to bear the opinions of the group that we've assembled, and over the course of time, as you'll see, we want to engage more broadly to understand what the challenges and the opportunities are that are available here. So in doing that, we will be following a plan that looks a bit like this. So today we're kicking off the work that we're seeking to undertake in the context of SLES for social housing. With this webinar, we're going to introduce you to the work, and hopefully in the course of the presentations and the conversation at the end of the session, there'll be some insight gained into the challenges and opportunities in the application of SLES in social housing situations. Over the course of the next few weeks, we'll be undertaking further research and analysis to understand what is the current status and what enablers need to be in place, what enabling conditions need to be in place to support this sort of thinking and this sort of journey. And to do that, as noted here, there will be some desk research, there'll be interviews, and other types of engagement with those who are interested stakeholders. And we will take that information, do some the necessary analysis and so on to try and propose some possible solutions, be they technical or associated with business models and so on. And from that, we will publish we'll publish our findings sometime in December, which will be available, of course, to everyone to inform their thinking. So that's the plan, and as noted today, this webinar is the initiation point for that work. The agenda for today is shown here. So I'll conclude very soon, and we'll then work through broadly two sessions. The first is focused very much on the social housing context, and the second is much more on the technology community that seeks to support that group. And then we'll close with a session on questions and answers, and then conclude about a quarter past 12. In the midst, we have a short break, and that will provide also the opportunity to do a short survey, which I think Anna will be organising. So without further ado, I would again thank you for joining today. We're really pleased that you're with us and are going to be able to take part, and hopefully you'll find this an interesting session. And I'll hand over to Matt Harrison, who's the project director for energy efficiency at BEIS, and he will talk about the social housing demonstrator fund, decarbonization fund demonstrator that's just very recently been launched.